All right, hello everyone. This is Anthony with Traders Ultimate Edge, and it is February 22nd, 2022, and we'll talk about the market here today. Over the weekend, I believe this was yesterday, of course, Russia finally moved some troops there into those separatist regions of Ukraine, driving down the markets overnight. I'll kind of zoom out here a little bit. Let me go to this 15-minute view. You can see here the markets fell overnight and they bottomed out down here 42.51, which was actually lower than the previous low that we set a couple of weeks ago. So it got real low right here. This really just kind of thinking the markets were pretty oversold here at this point. So this bounce up after. Now this here was where they invaded right here, and then later in the day, there's more news coming out, that sort of thing. We entered the day way up here, and we pushed right off the open. Let me go find this. Pushed right off the open here, and then it kind of sold down. What I think happened was this big push here overnight, and then the push off the open was probably just kind of a relief rally. Now, when you have things that happen in the market, the way on the market for an extended period of time, when they come to an end, oftentimes you'll see a rally, and that's just the end of uncertainty. No matter what actually happened, you can often see a rally. The last presidential election was a good example of that as well. And also, we have to kind of consider that Putin did not just roll tanks down the main streets of Kiev, invading their capital city. All he did was recognize the separatist regions. All he did, quote unquote, was recognize the separatist regions and move some troops that direction. And later, he said that we have no plans to invade Ukraine right now, that sort of thing. We're just trying to protect the people here. So, I don't know how much I believe the guy, but that's what he said, right? So later in the day, Biden was supposed to make some comments. They started talking that he was due to do it around here, and the markets just kind of sold off at that point. I think this was a lot of algo trading. Now, again, not trying to be political here, but just in general, whenever Biden has spoken, I don't think I've seen a single instance where the market has risen when he speaks. So I think a lot of this sell-off here was concerns over him speaking. And then the time was moved up, and then it was pushed back a couple of times. So the time kept getting shifted of when he was supposed to talk. I think it was kind of worrying people, that sort of thing. But then it came down here. Oops. I just did something. There we go. Then it came down here to where he actually talked, and the markets went up. And now let me drop to the 5-second view. I'm going to kind of show you what I think may have happened here. Gotta zoom back. It's right around 12:30. There it is. There it is, right here. Okay, this right here is where he started to talk. What I think this move up was, and all of these contracts being traded right here, what I think this was probably just a lot of big money short covering. They were selling the rumor, buying the news of Biden talking, because, like I say, whenever he talks, the markets go down. So the big money and the algos just sold down the markets prior to this and then took their profits. That's what I think that was. On the back of that, the market slowly started to rise, and then what happened a little bit later was right over here. A little bit later, right here, I think, is where we started to see big money actually start to buy. And this is some of it right here, some of this volume spikes that came in. And right here, I had sold SPX credit this morning against the index. And I was sitting in those positions, and they're worth about $30, $35 each spread, except right here, where it jumped up a few points here, those spreads went to nearly worthless and closed instantly. So I think some sort of algos kicked off that found big money buying, and the market makers, decided to finally drop all the premium on those things. It was really interesting when it happened. But I think this was probably big money kind of getting into a few long positions here. Just my thought process behind it. I don't really have a whole lot other than a chart to back that up. But that's kind of my thought. Big wild close over here, up and down here at the end. Oops, and I just moved something again. Right down here at the end, I think this was probably the remainder of any shorts that were in the market covering this push up here at the end. So now what we have, what this is set up, is a bit of a relief for everybody. You know, that now that we've seen, okay, he's not just going to roll tanks into downtown Kiev and start blowing up skyscrapers. So maybe there's some sort of diplomatic solution at this point, and that's kind of what the market's looking at. It's going to continue to be very news driven. All day today, and well, this last week, we've seen a lot of algorithms coming out and selling down the market every time there's been some little tiny piece of news comes out about Ukraine and Russia. It wasn't quite the same thing today. I watched live news feed the whole day, watching the chart on a 1 minute, and there would be some movement on each one, but not really. That's pretty much gone at this point. So that means the algos have finally stepped away from trading every little tiny piece of news. Big money's not doing it really anymore. And I think now the market can finally start to recover from this and look towards the upward side. But we're going to need a catalyst to get that done. We're going to need something like Putin saying, no, I want a peaceful resolution. I want to pursue diplomacy, something like that. Something of that nature. We're going to need that kind of a catalyst. If we get that, then I definitely think the markets will grind higher. Otherwise, I think we may be trapped in kind of a holding pattern and going sideways. Maybe sideways, maybe slightly up. It'll continue to have kind of these big swings intraday. This was a big swing today. It went from 43.58 all the way down to 42.61, nearly a 100-point swing. And you know, we may continue to see that kind of thing, but overall, I think now a lot of the tension and a lot of the uncertainty that was in the market is gone, and now we just need some catalysts to help push it up. So that's what I'm looking for here into the rest of the week. And of course, as always, it remains news driven, so make sure to be watching your news feeds. All right, that's all I got for you. Hope you have a great evening, and I hope you are very successful tomorrow. Take care.